Hey guys, Tony here, CCXRC, and we're coming to you through the magicery of the internet and live streaming through YouTube, which is a pretty amazing thing. It's pretty popular right now, and I've been doing a bunch of videos recently with all these little toy cars, and been getting some questions about it, and so I thought I'd just come on and I would share with you guys my reason for this and my love for the hobby and why I like this hobby. Now, the reason I like it is a little bit different than other people, and everyone's going to have their own reasons why they like it. But this kind of brought it all up because these are, pretty toy grade, and so sometimes I get a little bit of flack with people joking with me about how many toy cars that I bring onto the channel. And so I wanted to address that a little bit, but also just talk with you guys about how I got into this. And yeah, just hang out. So I'm going to be looking over here every once in a while because I do have some people logged in already. Pretty cool. So OwRC, Tyler LaValle, Instant RC, Bar Harbor Basher, and Tebow RC, and Killer Racing saying, please start. Sorry, man. I was trying to start it. It said on my iPad, it's all kind of running through. I'll show you here. I'm on a delay. But this is what I'm running off of. It's just my iPad. So it's got a stream here. And it said that YouTube was validating. And I've done live streams on other channels before. And when I did that, I missed a whole 10-second opening because it hadn't yet kicked on. So we got it going and we're ready to go. But first of all, I want to address the elephant in the room, the tiny, tiny elephant of these little toy RC cars here. Got a bunch of them. I've got all of these are toy grade as well. But I'll tell you what, I just love remote control, radio controlled anything. It doesn't have to be the super hobby grade. If it's something that I'm interested in, like Star Wars, having a remote control vehicle like this AT-AT or AT-AT Walker, however you want to pronounce it, also catch a lot of flack for that. Everyone's got their opinions, especially online. But I just love big, fast, hobby grade cars. And I know that everybody starts at a different place. Everybody's got a different budget that they're working with. And so when I was approached about doing some of these, I kind of kicked back at it at first. I didn't really want to do that. I just, I only do this channel for fun, really, for myself and for my boys, and kind of like a little dialogue, and so, or a memory for myself. And so, people have started following, and it's been really cool. And yeah, so now it's kind of grown into something. People are asking me if I want to review some of their cars, and it helps me have stuff to put on here. So, most people aren't willing to shell out their cars that cost $800 or $600 or however much, without, you having a super duper huge channel. So after a while I said, yes, I'll take, some. I was very choosy about what I wanted. Because I don't want to do super toy grade, that would be for little kids, but something that I would have fun running. And so I looked at videos before I even requested some of these. Now these are knockoff, and so that's something else that people kind of get all up in arms about. Whether this is somebody else's parts and they've kind of reskinned it in a cheaper version to make it their own and sell it at half the price. These ones I don't believe are that way. There are some that are complete knockoffs as far as the looks. This one actually steals the looks a lot from a Revo, but it doesn't have the same build at all as a Revo. They've kind of done their own thing with it. This one's actually kind of a piece of junk, so but they use the truggy stylings of the e-Revo in the body. And so I was kind of a little bit wishy-washy about that. That was actually just kind of an extra. I didn't ask for that, and they sent it as well along with these. So let me jump back over here. Are these toy grade designers paying you to promote these? I am not being paid to promote these. These were sent to me to review. So yeah. And I told them that if I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. I'm not going to come on here and lie to people and make you spend your money on things that are junk. So if it's something that I like, I'll tell you that I like it. I happen to like these two. I paid money for this one, and I don't really like it. So there's things I like about it, but compared to these, it's just not as much fun. It's much more hobby grade, upgradable, brushless motors, all that. You know, you can do that for these as well. But, you know, they have a lot of hop-ups for it, which would make it a lot better. But I just don't want to invest that much money into these smaller, what I consider toy. Even this one that's, you know, built a lot stronger. If I'm going to invest money in anything, it's going to be my scale trucks, my X-Max, my Losi 10, stuff that I really want to be souped up. And I don't want to be souping these up. I just want them to be fun to play with. So, 8 weeks, do more vids on the X-Max. RC Cool Dude, I have probably some of the most X-Max videos in my feed of most people that I've seen. I do a lot of X-Max videos. In fact, this was kind of a break. You know, I could run the X-Max all day long. In fact, I was just going back through the X-Max because I paid cash for the X-Max. Going back to the money question, actually, they don't pay me to do the reviews on these, but I do get, you know, some money, very little from YouTube through the Google AdSense advertising for views, but it's very minimal. I don't even think it keeps up with the amount of parts that I break to do cool stuff for you guys. So, you know, that's something I don't shy away from, is breaking the cars. So RC Cool Dude 21, if you haven't, you're saying, oh my God, X-Max. Yes, I have a ton of X-Max. I've got some stuff on here. I was actually going to load up and show you guys kind of a little bit of, as I was thinking about the hobby and how I got into it, the way that I got into it and the different elements about it that I actually like. Being from this is something I can play with my kids, to, you know, getting together with a group of guys and going camping. So I'll get into that a little bit later. There's just so many cool aspects that and ways that this can bring people together, and I think in a really great way. So, Bar Harbor, can you condense what you're saying? I've missed some of it. You're saying something about pushes me more to out due to their own R&D. So, okay, so I'm just going through a couple of these, but I got into this hobby, most of you know, through the Traxxas Gravedigger. I live by these BMX trails, and so I took my bike out there because I used to race BMX, and I hurt my neck, and I didn't crash, I just really pulled some stuff and messed up my back, and you know, being older, I have a job now, and I'm a photographer and video producer, so I need to be able to move pretty easily and well. And that was really hurting the way that I could work. And so I put that on the shelf, and I saw these remote control cars on the shelf at Target, and I thought, man, awesome, I'm gonna get one. It was like a big blue Ford monster truck, and I bought it for like 75 bucks or something. It was a New Bright, and it couldn't even drive in the grass. So come back, and we'll get to that in just a second. It couldn't even drive in the grass, so I was ticked off because I was going to go jump it on the jumps, and it was no doing that. So I took it back, and they didn't want to take it, but they finally caved in when I said, this is, you know, a monster truck. It's sold to be able to jump and go in the grass, and it can't do it. So anyway, I got the Traxxas Gravedigger, and this is actually the first video that I did with the Traxxas Gravedigger, was this Traxxas Gravedigger mud bath in my backyard. And I set up a little course and all that and started filming a little bit about that because I really wanted to have a place where I could run it and jump it myself. And the track kind of morphed a little bit, and I got my next car. So I had the Gravedigger for a year before I got a Losi 10 SCTE. And I was continuing to build up the backyard track and do more jumps and things with it. As you can see, I got even the little... the dividers, and had it hooked up for a while. It's no longer in existence, but we're going to be rebuilding that. And so, you know, from there, it just continued to go, and I ended up buying my boy the Losi mini desert truck. And so, yeah. So that was kind of the intro to all of it. And it was those three vehicles, the Traxxas Gravedigger, the Losi 10. And what was tough is I watched all these YouTube videos. I mean, when I first started wanting to build my own backyard track, I watched hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos on RCs, and that's when I got the idea, man, I should make some videos and post them as I'm doing this. So that's kind of when the YouTube channel started. Actually, it didn't even start then. I was posting them on my my personal YouTube channel, where I host more like photography tips and just kind of random home stuff on there. And I was getting all these RC videos, so I decided to switch it up and start my own Redline BMX. I never owned a Redline. Hey, how's it going, Josh? I just saw you jump on there. Tebow did freestyle BMX in '87. GT Pro Freestyle Tour. Did it have mags on it, man? I want to know if it had some mags. I ran. What did I? Let's talk about the bikes for a second. So I had. Where did I start? I had a PK Ripper. Had a Free Agent. Had a Hyper BMX. Then there was a Reynolds Racing. There was a Hutch. Hutch is old school. That had the really thin tires on it for racing, for the kids when they were running. Man, there was a bunch of bikes that I used to have. Bunch. But I still have the Reynolds Racing. It's a XXL length, so it's a 44-inch wheelbase, which is really long, and it was run by the pro Barry McManus. And Craig Reynolds actually was the one that created the bike, and there was this company. He'd walk around we used to race the national circuit, so he'd travel around the U.S., and he'd carry them on his back and sell them to people. And he's actually, I think, a commentator now for racing on ESPN or one of the sports networks for, I think it's actually Cars. But anyway, that's a long jump. So, Poor Man RC, just say it. I said it. Live stream features. Okay, cool, man. I'm glad it's working. I wasn't sure how well it would work here in my house. Okay, you had the spokes in yours? Had the Hutch Trickstar. Nice, man. Thinking about doing my builds live so I don't have to worry about editing and so you guys could see the wheels turning. Man, that for me, if I were doing that, that would be bad news. It would take so long. I thought about doing my last unboxing with my boys of this car here, live stream, because you know, I didn't want to spend as much time with some of these on the videos as I've done on other ones, but we ended up recording it, which was probably a good thing because my youngest son kept saying butt over and over, boo-boo butt. So, in fact, I just got my son a Hyper bike recently, or my mom got it. I chose it, but he got it for an early Christmas present, so he's got a Hyper. Man, we even had the shocks when they were first coming out. They had just started releasing, it was called Pro Forks. They were one of the first shocks that you could get for BMX bikes. And, you know, the verdict wasn't in whether it was better or not. But yeah. Anyway, so mags. The mags did look cool. I think they're going to make a comeback. It's just the 80s made a comeback, so they might as well. What was the other one? There was GT and there was another freestyle that was really, really popular along with GT. Anyway, so back to this hobby. So it all came because I love to jump things. I grew up jumping bikes, you know, building jumps. And so that's when I said, man, I want to just build my own track in the backyard. And so I just went to it. I had my Vans on. I was packing in the jumps like we used to with my feet, kicking it in. In fact, I still kicking, rocking the Vans here. You know, most people don't realize that this tread pattern here in the middle was for your pedals to grip into. So, yeah, it was. I remember the days in school when it was uncool to actually wear Vans, and we were wearing them, and we'd get made fun of for wearing Vans. Ha ha! How the tables have turned. Haro, that was it. Haro. Man, those were awesome. Man, those are the days. I should pull out. I've got in my attic over here a whole bunch of BMX VHS tapes that I've started converting to DVD 10 years ago, and I've done about 5 of them or 10 of them or something. Not very many. I mean, there's 50 of them. Anyway, you have issues opening boxes. I do. You know, I hate toy packaging. In fact, there's a song about that. There's a singer-songwriter called Sarah Groves, and she has a great song called I Hate Toy Packaging, and I play it every Christmas. But yes, I do. And I love to throw stuff when I'm unboxing. That's kind of one of my things, is throw something at the camera. If I can't hit the camera with an RC car, I'm going to try and hit it with a box or a tape ball or something. Just a really trick rate that had Star Wars figures in it. Oh, that's awesome. Should send me a link to that, Matt. I see you on here, buddy. Kids are evil, Vans rule. Did anybody ever hear the Vans song? So I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Not in Detroit, but 45 miles an hour from Detroit, and 45 minutes from Ann Arbor. Go U of M, Ohio State. I don't want to even get into the whole what happened on Saturday. It was bad and depressing in a couple ways. I had thought the game was at 3:30, so when I came in to watch it, it was overtime, and then we lost. And so I was mad about a couple things. All right, shout out to Xander. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. All right, so anyway, that's the whole thing with the toy grade. I'm not going to stop and only do... there's a lot more people who are into RC a whole lot more than I am. I don't take it seriously. I don't race. I might at some point race one or two, but I don't think I'm going to get into series races and try and be there for every race, which will tick people off because I'll ruin their point series that they've got going on. Probably not, because I'll probably be in last place. But so I don't get into it. I don't like tooling on the RCs that much, honestly. It's not my thing. Harley's always tooling on his, and that's awesome for him. They do the coolest builds. JPRC, man, his Yeti and his Score are some of the most amazing looking trucks that I've seen in a while. I really, really would love to just have him build me a car because he does awesome work, right down to the look of them. It could be blue and yellow for his theme. I wouldn't care. They're awesome. But I have fun running them. I have fun, breaking them. Some people don't like the people that go and they crash all the time, and that we show that, they want you to try and perfect it and land right. And I don't mind breaking them. I'll work on them if I break something. And, I always want to push it to the level where if I don't make it, it's possible that I could break it. The cars being intact really relies on landing the jump, because if not, something will probably break. And I'm willing to do that because I just want to push it. I want to see what'll happen. I'm just curious. I guess that's part of it. So, racing is overrated, Tebow says. I raced for 15 years. The scene is ridiculous now with grown men forgetting that they're playing with toys. Yes, we are. And honestly, what really ticks us off is that the kids beat us. It's the same with playing video games online. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's the whole controller thing. The kids just have it down way better than we do, and they're going to make us look bad. I don't online, seriously, because I will die instantly if I play like Call of Duty online or Star Wars. I actually like the Star Wars PS4 game, because if I become like one of the stormtroopers, I'm legit. I'm like realistic. I die all the time and I can't hit anything. So I look just like they do in the movies. So I'm repping it for them. So yeah. There's a slight delay on here, guys. I'll just warn you. So, if I'm not talking or you're behind, I keep looking over here and it's behind 20 or 30 seconds or something. So it makes it a little bit difficult. So getting back past all this, I want to just go back into some of the stuff that I have on here about what I love about the hobby. These things are cool in a lot of ways. One, it brings people together. So I met a guy through YouTube, RC Crawler Workbench. Coolest guy. Nate is a real good RC buddy here locally. He lives in the same city I do. We happened upon each other through YouTube and commenting, and we got together here at my house for a little run, and then we've gotten together, almost once a month, it seems like, unless he's had to work on a Saturday and I was gone on a work trip or whatever. But we've, for the most part, been getting together pretty regularly and running, so it's been awesome. In fact, we just did a bash video last weekend, that was one of the most fun days for me bashing, because usually I bash alone. And he aired his slash out so far. I was blown away when it landed. So, but anyway, so this is us out at some mud pits, and there's so many different elements as well that you can drive these in, from snow to mud to water. But I also went on a camping trip recently with a bunch of guys. Shoot, I don't even remember how many. I think there were 9 of us, and we all went up camping. It was about 5 hours from here to go up and go camping. A bunch of guys rented cabins. I took my RV up there because it's old and it needs to be run. So I decided it was a good, chance for me to get it out and get some miles on it and keep the motor running. So, but then with the YouTube channel, we've just done some other things that are just fun. Like we had the Scale RC driver carnage we cut up, and then online just meeting so many cool people and doing videos where Jack sent his Outback Jack around the world. I don't even know where he is anymore. It's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Well, it's where in the world is Outback Jack, because I think he got lost in shipping. So I don't know if they found out where he is. So Tyler says he's the crazy Star Wars fan. Poor man RC said, RCs are not toys when you can be hurt by it. I don't know about that. I got hurt as a kid by a stuffed animal. It had a plastic eye. My brother threw it up to my bed. I asked for it, and he threw it up to me, and it hit me and knocked my tooth out. Hit me right in the mouth. OBJ is lost. Stop random spam. You're disrespectful when interrupting the chat. I don't see any spam coming in here. So Nate is awesome. Great fabricator. Yes, he is. You are right there, Josh. Some of the other things. First, like, here's where my first YouTube was. In fact, this is actually. Let me come back here. This is actually where I was sitting in this picture right here, and I've changed it all to be able to have this little studio here with the. I painted the wall blue. I'd never paint probably this color in a room in my house. In fact, here, let me switch. I can switch cameras even. Check this out, guys. So now you're looking where I'm looking. Isn't this cool? And so you can see I actually only painted to this door where it would be in the frame. And then the rest is the rest of my room, which is destroyed right now from all the unboxing that we've done and other things. But yeah, here's some of the other toys. We got the TIE Fighter, the BB-8, old cameras. Again, I'm a photographer. This is actually a working land camera. What else is in here? Just a couple more RCs. My box from the Unimog. Old train my mom brought me from when I was a kid. An old Tyco train. I love that train track my dad would build for us. I don't know, just put these Star Wars things up because I really got back into Star Wars with the movies coming out, and then they had all these cool statue type figures, so I bought a bunch. And just things that my kids like. For some of my favorite movies, I get these little Funkos just as a fun thing. This here is Awesomeness from Josh Midlife RC. Check out that cool nightlight. I should get this lightsaber on there glowing or something. That would be kind of cool. This is one of my builds here. The D90 Land Rover Defender on a G-Made sawback. This is a piece of junk car. Sorry, HPI. It's the only HPI I have. But this one, I don't like at all. It doesn't stay true. It doesn't stay straight. And I just do not enjoy it. I can't run it anywhere. The body's too close to the ground. It's useless to me in a lot of ways. So, all right. So we're back, and I'm going to look at some questions. Which DJI Phantom is that drone? That is the DJI Phantom 2 Plus, and it was crashed into some water. I think the ocean, and it no longer works, but it looks good on the shelf, I would say. Don't you think? Get like Vanna over here. Ta-da! It was replaced, and that one isn't actually mine. I sent another one down. It was a guy that works for us in Guatemala, and it was a work drone, and it was actually his personal one, but he used it for work and crashed it, and so we sent him mine, and I got the 3 professional as a replacement. But that's at work. So I had a work one that I crashed into Lake Titicaca, something that we don't usually talk about, but it's now kind of funny enough. At the time, it was like a sore subject. But I was flying it down in Peru over Lake Titicaca, the Uros Islands, the floating islands, and getting footage of that. And we were on this boat made out of reeds, and it was like a double-decker. And so they had these 2 like catamarans made out of reeds, and inside the reeds they would put just a ton of 2-liter bottles, plastic, screwed on the caps, and then they'd close it up with reeds so it would float using these 2-liter bottles. And then it was a double-decker, and so I was on the upper deck flying, and I was bringing it back, and our local video guy at the time down there, Mario, was reaching out to catch it. It was only 5 feet from him, and then all of a sudden it freaked out. It went backwards in full speed down into the water, and we watched it sink. Right after we'd been on one of the islands, and they showed us that it was 75 feet deep or something like that. So, yeah. So now you know. I don't know if I was supposed to tell you that story, but it's out there. It's live. Can't take it back. So I think it's fine. A lot of people know now. How is the WLtoys A969? Is it worth it? This one is the A969, and I love this thing. I've driven it out twice now, and I've beat it up. Some of the cool things about this is a new chassis is like $4. A new motor is $6. So everything is really cheap for it. So you can break it and repair it, and really inexpensively. So that's kind of a plus, I think. You have to wait for parts. I mean, you can order them from Amazon, but you're still going to have to wait for them to be shipped to you from China. So, but they share parts, same chassis and everything. I'm thinking that the body on the 6.9 is going to be better than the 5.9 as far as protection for it. I could be wrong, but it seems like this extra plastic will help shield it on harder crashes if it's upside down. And this one is really dirty and dumping stuff all over the table. So, poor man RC, I was sick. My stomach was turning, and I got that. I just started laughing uncontrollably, that nervous laughter. I was just so sick to my stomach and like queasy and dizzy about it. It just killed me. Did I break the bumper like I was worried about? No, and I slammed it on that bumper, man. There's, well, here, I can just switch back to this camera here. Let me go back to here. I mean, you can see the damage or the wear that I put on that bumper there when I was hitting. And actually I saw sparks coming from one of the screws. You can see where it's not black anymore on this upper screw here. When it hit, it sparked really, really cool off the ground. But you can see the damage that I did to the chassis. Not too bad. Really the front and the back with the landings. But it didn't bottom out too bad in the middle here. It's got this little raised part. So, yeah, I was unbelievably impressed, I'll say, with this thing. So I need to get a leaf blower out, and I need to blow out the BMX tracks and try this thing and this one to see how it does. I'm actually going to take this one out tomorrow in the driveway, run it just like I did this, to see if they handle the same. And they should, because they're the same innards. I mean, the tires are basically the difference, so unless that makes a big difference, it should run the same. But, they're brush motors. You could get a little bit more power with one. So, who knows? It might be a little bit slower, but I'm thinking pretty good. The Mavic was $1,000, so not so cheap. Yeah. Get you a DJI Mavic. I got one 2 weeks ago and love it. I like it better than my Unix. Yeah, my buddy has one of those Mavics, and he says it flies better than his 4. He's upgraded to every DJI. So I started with the 1, 2, 3. I didn't see a need to go to the 4. But because I travel with mine, you know, the Mavic would actually be awesome because I've traveled internationally a lot with mine, and it would just be easier to carry and all of that. So, wish list. Can you charge your batteries on a regular charger, or do you have to use their slow included wall charger, Matster? You know, I thought I had a cable for it. They're really small cables on these. Oh, I don't have a battery in either of these. But they're really small connectors. I'm pretty sure that you can get this little adapter here. Shoot, I'm gonna just do this. Keep forgetting I can do this, guys. I'm pretty sure that you could get this type of a connector to one of your speed chargers and run it on there. But sorry guys, I'm a little bit under the weather as well, so I'm kind of pushing through. So lots of cool things in the hobby. So many fun memories, whether it's from work, home stuff. When we did the Battle of Endor with this was really fun. My boy doing the review of the SEMA 5C, I believe that was. I don't remember exactly which one that was. And then we went to Arizona, and I was able to carry the buggy, but I also took the buggy with me to Michigan and took it to one of the local tracks there. And so I've just done so many things with RCs in the last 3 years, I guess, 3.5 years that I've been doing this. I mean, there's so many things that we've included these into. My dad, we got one for my dad. When my brothers come to town, they like to run them. Their kids like to run them. And so these would actually be perfect for them. And for people that have a lot of cement and maybe don't have jumps, these are actually awesome for that. Because, you know, it'd be a little bit of a waste to get a full 10th scale maybe for that kind of running if you didn't have the right terrain. But you do something like this and you can make anything into a little obstacle course or jumps. I've actually, I was telling my wife that I might actually in our back sunroom build some cardboard jumps or use some stock. I have one in here somewhere. Like I said, there's so much stuff in here right now. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Sorry, hopefully I'm not flashing everybody. So I had this little jump that I made. I was thinking I could make a bunch of these and tape them on the ground to run and make some, do some jumps and make a little course in the back room. So we'll see. I get bored easily, so I might end up doing that. But I'm always looking for something to do. Again, for me, it's really just fun. I'm like a little kid again when I start playing with these, and you know, it's like when my dad used to record us racing BMX, and I'd come back and I'd watch it. I record these with my phone usually, which is actually what I'm recording this with, and I'll sit on the way back. I might stop somewhere, get a drink, and I'll just sit and watch the video on my phone, not edited, just to see how everything was. Because it's just fun to relive some of those and see it in replay. And so that's what I love about making the videos is I get as much enjoyment about going back through my channel and watching the run videos as I do knowing that other people watch them, because, you know, in some ways I make them for myself. So Matt says he's happier with the Mavic. There's so many awesome videos about that. Hopefully yours doesn't do the flyaway. Do you have a Traxxas Slash? Steven says. Nope, I do not have a Traxxas Slash. I have a Losi 10. Standard JST connector. Thank you, Tebow. I needed to know that for myself, so I can order some because I need to charge these. They actually, you know, I put them on charge for, I don't know, it's like 2 hours and they're charged up. I'm gonna order a bunch more because these are fun enough. I'm gonna have extra batteries sitting around to drive these, so my kids can run them for a while. I'm just kind of scrolling back through some of the questions. /4 two-wheel drive lasts forever. Yes, they do. I know a lot of people that have those. What do I do for work? Bar Harbor Basher asks. All right, so I am a humanitarian videographer and photographer, basically journalist for a humanitarian organization where we do orphan care, clean water programs. We call it Blessed Child. It's more than orphan care. In fact, we try and go away from the orphanage model and get kids into homes. And so education, feeding programs. Even here in the U.S., we have a huge network of semi-trucks that go and deliver food to food banks and all of that. And so I'm a storyteller, basically trying to tell the need in the story or how people's money is being used to help, so that they can see it in action. Because there are so many question marks. One, about where does my money go, and two, being able to show the people that are being helped, but also where there's needs. So I go out in disasters, and so Haiti earthquake. I was there 2 days after the quake. I was there when cholera hit in Haiti, to the U.S. disasters, and so I won't go into it too long, but that's what I do. And so I studied. I have a master's degree actually in communication arts for video editing and production. So there, I'm going back. Neat camera swap. Thanks, Josh. Okay, message me how to do this live deal. Yeah, there's lots of ways to do it. Poor man RC. There's a cool app actually out called Wirecast Go, and it allows you to live stream to YouTube, because YouTube's actually gonna lose here to Facebook if they don't pick it up, man. Facebook just added that little video button at the bottom of their app. They've got a sale thing. They're taking on YouTube. They're taking on Craigslist. They need to get the live built into their YouTube app very soon. And hopefully they can integrate Hangouts so we could actually be talking with people right now instead of me talking and you watching and putting in your questions. So, will we be going to Tennessee for the fires? I will not be going to Tennessee for the fires, but we do have trucks going with relief supplies for people, pallets of food, water, Gatorade. MREs is actually, I think, what they're using because of the need. So, Master, it's a very fulfilling career. It can be difficult. It looks awesome to people on social media and stuff, but it's very tough, but it's also very rewarding. So, but yeah, and I'm primarily more work with our international teams in different countries. We have offices all over the world, so that's primarily where I work. I'm loving, guys. I don't know about you. It seems like it's been a while since really cool new RCs come out that have gotten me excited. Doesn't matter to me a whole lot. I'm excited just driving the cars I have, and I already have a big enough wish list for things that are already out that I don't have. I would love to get a Beast 6x6. Me, I'm the ready to run guy, and they've got it ready to run, so I'd love to get one of those. I'd like to get a TF2. Those are awesome, and those are ready to run now as well. And I think Arma has some really sweet looking vehicles, and not being a racer, it kind of fits into the way that I run, like Traxxas does. And Traxxas has some options, but I really like the Arma options for bashing. So I'd like to get a Creighton or the newest one, the Outcast, looks really cool to me. So Proline's got stuff coming out now. There's just so many cool RC cars that are coming out. The X-Max came out. I dig that thing. Favorite RC car. And I think that the Outcast or the Creighton would kind of run like that Bison that I just got, which is a really cool truck. Tebow, you're into FPV mini quads. I'm trying to get one, buddy. I really want to get a FPV mini quad. In fact, I don't know if you guys know you can do this. I don't know if I should show you. it's not. But okay, so let me tell you first, and you guys can tell me if you want to see it or not, because I could probably turn this computer around and show you. But you can hook up a PS4 controller to your Apple computer or your PC, and there's this game called FPV Freerider, and you can actually control the drone in that FPV game using the control sticks on the PS4. Pretty cool. Everyone was saying you couldn't do that. It's all about PS3 controllers, but I tried it out with my PS4 controller and actually paired it over Bluetooth, so it's wireless, to my computer and did it. Really sweet. So, yeah, the Outcast is a combination of arms. Yeah, but I'm all about looks, man. Call me crazy. It's just a cool looking truck. I love the body on it, and the wing, and the huge tires. And so just the concept that they put together with the Outcast to me just looks really cool. Nero is insane, but the battery doors are a pain in the butt. They keep popping open. Gaff tape. Matt, you know about gaff tape. You were in the music industry. Hit that junk up with some gaff tape. Freerider and the DRL sim work well on a controller. Yes, you can actually do regular controllers. I don't know if I have one I can pair. I don't have the USB dongle to my computer, so just trying to practice, because like I said, I am trying to get an FPV drone and some goggles. So Tekin Brew, diffs went out in my Bison. How long were you running it before that happened? And diffs can go out in a lot of things, so I'm all about when does it break, how long does it break, because I can break any of my cars, whether they're the best built or not. 5K subs and 17 viewers. That's all right, man. It's not about having lots of people. I was watching RC Sparks' feed, which was he was struggling to have the internet for it. He should just use his phone. He was trying to do it through his computer, and it's a much more of a headache to set up a RMTP server through the computer to do it. But his feed here was going by so fast that you couldn't even read the comments that people were making, because there weren't even that many people on at that time. I mean, there was a couple hundred. At some point, he got up to 900, but he's got 1 million people, and so 900. It's a tough model. I'm not sure the staying value of it. It's nice because I didn't have time to edit and shoot this video tonight, but I wanted to talk a little bit about why I like this, why I've been doing these toy grade. I'm done with them. This was the third one, so we're going to get back to some regular bashing videos. I'm sure more will come, guys, but I'm not going to limit myself to just one style of thing. And like I said, I don't like doing all the build stuff. So what you're going to see more from me is looking at more of these toy things, jumping, bashing, fixing, trying some new things, that avenue. And when I do some upgrades, which are usually very minimal, talking about those. So, but Harley and them, where they do all the fabricating and they do all that, you're probably not going to see that from me ever. So, what's got the Fat Shark, Metzer? What has Fat Shark goggles? Velcro, there you go. What are my thoughts on the ECX Temper? Never tried the ECX Temper. We got my dad an ECX Ruckus, a 2-wheel drive. And I bought last year for a coworker of mine who put in just an awesome year. I got him an ECX amp. And I actually like the amp better than I like the Ruckus, and it's quite a bit cheaper. The Ruckus is just kind of, I don't know. The reverse, for one, the way the wheels kind of wobble when you're in reverse, can't stand that. But it didn't seem as quick, and it didn't fly as well. The amp, man, when that thing gets in the air, it's beautiful the way that it flies through the air. I wish it had the better electronics in it, though, which is upgradable. Yeah, man, that was a fast chat. I saw another one. I have another channel, and I was following somebody that is in that sphere of subscribers I have, and same thing happened. It was just way too fast. Phantom Guest Guitar Channel. Hey, Jack. Yeah, sorry to hear about OBJ. I thought that I remembered hearing that he was lost. That's a total bummer. RC Fash Bash and Crash Juno. What kind of FPV drone do you want? I have a Rise 270 still in the box. I don't know. I don't even know what. I'm researching. I'm in the research phase right now. But again, part of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find something that's the best price, or at least a good price, because I'd love to get more people involved in it and find out if it's really good, and if I can get into something for under 200 bucks, I would love to do that so that I can show off something that's kind of affordable to people that might have a lower budget. And again, I also don't want to break something that's too expensive right off the bat. So yeah, it's totally different than flying my DJI Phantom. I know that. Matt, sir, that can be put in any RC vehicle. Oh, okay, an FPV setup. That's pretty cool, man. I'll have to look at the Rise 270 and see. I've been looking at a JJ Pro P200. You can get it for about 180 bucks, and that's ready to fly, and it's stupid fast, and it's a little bit heavier, it looks like, than some of the others, but it was really stable with a firmware upgrade. But yeah, I mean, it's stupid fast. But at our local hobby shop, everyone's getting into the FPV stuff. They've got the whole wall with all the different props and the multi-rotors and all that. So check out a Fox. That's a FPV. Would I rather go fast or rock crawl? It depends on the mood I'm in. Typically, crawl. I'm not really actually, that's a tricky answer. I'm not a go fast person. I'm a big air person. I love jumping, so I'd rather the speed be in the torque end of it, so that I can have wheel speed to, or I'd rather be in wheel speed so I can do flips and things like that. But that's the main reason I want speed. If I'm just trying to go fast, like the HPI, that's not my thing. And I'd rather crawl. So it's a lot of fun. It's technical. There's challenge in it, just like jumping, trying to land, something huge. There's some of that in the crawling. The stakes aren't as high. That's for sure. Sometimes though, it can be when you're trying to push through and your wheels are caught and all that. All right. I want the Walkera. I've been looking at the Walkeras as well. Cable Ace 1 crawler to come in. Whoa, you got a capo crawler, man? Nice. So, very cool stuff. The only thing, so you guys are talking about the live and all that, I can show you a little bit of this actually really quick. Because it's actually a pretty neat app. I don't know. I can't see the feed to know what it's doing. It's probably actually just repeating itself. But you get a whole little display where you can change different cameras. You can have up to 3 other iPhones connected to this app. This one's called Switcher Pro, I think. I can't close the app to look. It's Switcher something. I think it's called Switcher Studio, actually. And so it gives you lots of options to run and do all this. I just wish it would put your comments on the screen here so that I could actually have my phone flipped around so I'm seeing myself on the phone with the feed popping up, which the Wirecast Go app does do, but it's limited to 1 camera on your phone, I think. And so you can see the comments and all that, but you can't switch in the pictures and all that I was doing. The other thing, the reason I chose this is I could actually adjust the exposure and the focus of my phone from the iPad. How are the fish tanks going? They're a lot of work, I'll be honest, but I love them. They're awesome. He's on an expedition. Matt Taylor got it on pre-order, man. That is so cool. You will have to do a video telling us about that. So, I will say, I meant to announce it on the Google Plus. If you guys aren't following me on Google Plus, I make announcements there because that's where most of the RC people I know are. So if you like me or follow me on Google Plus, I can leave comments about when I'm going to do a live stream. But I'm actually going to try and plug in and do a Google Hangout later where we can actually have multiple people talking and going through it. But I couldn't easily and quickly set it up, and so I just went with my phone for this one. So, hey, welcome back, poor man. Matt, I have 2 saltwater tanks. Oh, dude, that would be awesome. I have a 40-gallon breeder and a 29-gallon BioCube saltwater tanks. You can look it up. It's Creative Fish Studio is the YouTube channel that I'm running for that if you want to see those tanks. I've got some bad hair algae going in one of the tanks, though, right now, unfortunately. 110-gallon freshwater, and I had to get rid of it. Too much maintenance. See, I have them in my garage, so maintenance is actually pretty easy. And I have a sink in the garage, a big tub sink, and so I can just run the gravel vac in there off the sink. It does changes and refill, but that's a different hobby. We're not going to talk about that too much here. You can hit me up on Google Plus to talk about that. Anyway, I think that's it. Unless you guys have some questions, I can open it up for that real quick. About anything RC related. I'm actually looking forward to, I ordered from GearBest. They're not sending it to me free, any of that. You know, I've seen some of these products now and I've seen how they work, and I like quite a bit about what they're doing. You know, some of the stuff that's too knockoff and too copy, like they've got a crawler that just looks exactly like the Poison Spider logo and all that. That's a little much for me, but you know, being a photographer or a graphic designer in the past, you know, having somebody just rip your complete idea off, you know, so, and the body looks the exact same, but they put it more on like a twin hammer style chassis instead of the Wraith. But anyway, it's a little close for me, and I probably wouldn't opt for it necessarily, but you know, if other people want to and like it, that's their thing. It's just more for me, and just kind of, you know, my, you know, knowing what people put into things and having it just kind of taken. So, but they have those diggers, and the diggers looked pretty cool. So I ordered one of those excavators. I think it was $42 on sale. So I'm waiting for that to come. They were waiting for their stock to get in for them, and then they did ship, and it was about 7 to 10 days. So it should be coming soon. Take Fast Up on the Rise. It's a good one to start with. Thanks, Steve. I'll look into the Rise. Bar Harbor. I was looking at your channel the other day again, but I was watching on my TV, and so I apologize, guys, if I don't always comment on things. I'll thumbs up because I can do that from my TV, but I can't leave comments. And I watched a lot of videos just sitting on watching on my TV while I'm editing or while I'm doing other things, and so if I don't leave a comment, but I did see your different builds on it. You've got the beast mode, you've got the fast mode, and so I watched those videos of your build. Very cool, man. The Terra Ascender. I don't know if they make an interior. I think most people custom fab theirs out of the plastic. Somebody help me out here. I'm blanking on the name of the plastic sheeting. The hobby stuff. So we need to get somebody. We should chip in and get another OBJ made. See if we can get Pascal to hook you up again. So, but again, if people want to go on and do one of the oh my God, you got to get one of these, brother. What's that, Jack? Trying to see if I missed something. Okay, Matt, hit me up. Hit me up on the PM me for sure, man. Have a great night, Matt. Styrene, thank you, Master. Man. That's all right, man. Hey, anyway, guys, I think I'm going to turn off for now because I want to go. Just heard my kids get home and my wife, so I'm going to go say hello to them. But I will be on later for a Google Hangout for people that want to chat more. So we'll catch up then. Hopefully, we'll get some people logging in where we can actually talk to each other instead of talking and typing and responding on a lag that I've got going on. So, anyway, guys, Tony here, CCXRC. Have fun RCing, guys. I know most of you guys in here do have fun, so we'll catch you next time.